Probably the most interesting kind of obstacle that I've encountered, and this goes back to something we talked about earlier, where there's this there when it comes to mental wellness, there's a component that the individual brings, and there's a component that the environment brings, and then mental wellness is the intersection between those two. There's a tendency, as you were suggesting earlier, for people to think like you need to do something to fix your own brain, and that's your responsibility, and kind of shy away from like what your responsibility in the more systemic environmental piece. So I think that's one barrier that we're still kind of facing, and this isn't a particularly new one. This is the stigma that's come around mental health for a long time. The more recent kind of challenge that I think is being popping up is people want to be supportive, and they want to find ways to make the workplace more accommodating and empower people, but they're reluctant to have that responsibility piece as well. It's almost like they feel like by being accommodating in the workplace, they don't need to require people to be as accountable or responsible. Whereas if you look at the clinical psychology literature, actually both of those coming together is where the magic happens. Again, you change the environment, in order to work better with people's brains, and then those people are bought in, and they're trying to make a difference, and that's where things really start to happen. Whereas I feel like right now there's a tension where people are thinking that mental wellness is either an individual responsibility or society needs to change, but there's less of a nuanced conversation about how do we make both of those come together at the same time, because they feel like they're at odds, but I really don't think they are. I think that it's entirely possible to hold people to account, empower them to, make their own changes, while simultaneously, finding ways to restructure the environment to make their efforts go farther.